Hello, everybody. How are you? Oop, can you hear me? Oh boy, what's going on here? Hello? Uh, Hello, everybody. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Um, I think I did this as an overlay as opposed to a background, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Uh, for everybody that hasn't been here before, I am Amanda, and I took a mini break from my channel to have a beautiful little boy who I named Bear, and I'm coming back so slow. I want to be able to stream like all the time, but I can't. So this is going to be my attempt at coming back on one single case at a time. Today I'll be covering Kylie. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be covering Jolissa. um, I normally cover all true crime, but I have an emphasis on missing cases. It's just kind of my weakness. I always want to make sure that any missing girl is found, um, and it comes from the heart, and it's kind of my it's kind of what I find myself going for most of the time. And I know there's not a lot to say on Kylie that hasn't already been said, but I haven't done my own live to show, my end of my investigation, my quote unquote investigation, my sleuthing. And this is just my opportunity to show everybody what I have found. I have shown it on some different channels already, but I'm just putting it all together. One other thing that I would like to say is thank you for everybody that is here and that has come back, because I know I left you guys for a very long time. So I truly appreciate you all. And I have about 1,500 new subscribers. So I apologize if I'm not your cup of tea. Sometimes you can follow somebody that's recommended to you and then not necessarily like their views. I don't have the same views as everybody else. So I understand if you don't like my style or my stilo, and you have to unsubscribe. It's okay with me. Sometimes you just subscribe to whoever's recommended to you, and then they're not your vibe. I'm okay with that. Just don't be rude to my chat. These are mostly my friends. Honestly, most of the people in the chat are my friends. So just don't be rude to them. I don't do drama on my channel. There's a time and a place for that. And that's pretty much my intro for today. I'm glad I fixed whatever I thought I couldn't see myself. That was kind of scaring me. So, um, PG is kind of new to my channel. Joan Bradley, what's up? How are you? Robert Ryan, what's going on? Sky, my main lady. Kimmy Kins, hi. And you're sure the newbies will love me, crazy mama. We'll see. I have some interesting views. I know that a lot of people think that all everybody is involved. All everybody is involved. But I really, truly, and honestly want to say that I think this may be an accident. But if it wasn't an accident, it was an accident that snowballed out of control. And then Kylie, ending up where she was damage control. And I just want to throw that out there right now, just so if that's not your point of view and you don't like mine, that's your easiest exit. I don't do anything's anime. Um, I don't do really any conspiracies. And it's not that I don't like conspiracies, it's just I don't see them in this case. I find that true crime cases are actually very simple most of the time. They're not very complex. And I understand why people see things that match up and link, and nothing should be a coincidence. But in this case, I really think it's cut and dry. I think that this may be an accident, and if it's not an accident, it's a simple case of these kids were wild and something happened, and it was a snowball effect. And then, unfortunately, Kylie didn't make it out of Prosser that night. That's generally what I feel happened in this case. But there are obviously things that I have found interesting and things that I have looked over and thought, okay, this is sketchy. And I don't want to discredit people like AWP who in my opinion, did an excellent job recovering Kylie. And not only that, they did an excellent job reporting on the recovery of her. They were so respectful, and the tow truck driver guy is an interesting aspect of the story, and I'm curious to see where that leads. But until I get verification from law enforcement, not myself personally, but unless it's written down or they confirm it, I don't know how I feel about tow truck driver story. And that is not to discredit AWP. Sometimes witnesses can be uh, wrong. Talk about the fighting video you found. Oh, I will, see Deb. I will. Ara Morning says, I'm looking at all points of view, so as long as there's no aliens. Yeah, no alien theories. I do believe in aliens, though, but that's a different story. But they kind of told us they existed. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up this one video of Kylie that I'm going to play while I fix my streamer that I messed up, but you guys are going to love it. I'm sure some of you have seen it, some of you have not. Let's see. I'm going to pull it up right now. This is the one thing that I don't like about doing lives. I get really freaked out when I'm silent, I'm trying to look for something. So bear with me if I close my screen or something. And yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and make it big and play for you guys. Wasn't that so cute? So one thing that I've learned about Kylie is that she started performing at 3 years old, and the instruments that she played, she started playing them at 3 years old. That is that's kind of crazy to me because I can't play an instrument. I consider myself a singer, but but I probably sing horrible. She had a sweet voice, and I don't know if you guys have heard her SoundCloud song. I also really liked that, so that's a bop. And one of the things that I had found while sleuthing Kylie and her family, I found that when she was, living at Lost Trail Lodge, she got to do a lot of stuff that most kids probably don't get to do. I I feel like her parents were really supportive of her just being really outdoorsy and doing a lot of stuff. Like there's a lot of videos of her out in the snow, and I've played one where she's riding on the back of a sled, but like she rode miles on the back of a sled. So she was kind of hardcore. And then I had found this video of her um, that her mom had taken, and I thought it was really sweet. So I'm gonna pull it up. And she says, "They say life begins at the edge of your comfort zone. I'm not sure who was closer to that line yesterday, Kylie driving through the tunnel for the first time or me watching as she did so in my car. At any rate, I'm so proud of the confidence she has in herself and the willingness to try something new, even if it's a bit unnerving. Lucky is the parent who bears witness to her child's. And I agree. As a mom, that would make me really proud. And if you go to the comment section of this video, there's people agreeing that what she's doing is pretty dope because apparently it's a hard road to travel on. So they say that's amazing. Zero chance I ever attempt the moose hole. Um, Kylie is. And then they say, "Yay, Kylie rocks! Cool. Would have not have made it without the tunes. Haha, just kidding. Way to go, Kylie. Go Sequoia, go!" Because that's what she's driving. They're like, way better than the Subaru did last year. And they pull up this picture of a Subaru crashing in this very same area where Kylie was driving. Granted, people have said she very well could have been a good driver in her mom's car because it's like an all terrain vehicle as opposed to the CRV. And she was impaired when she drove. So that could have been a factor as well. I still say, she, it seemed like she was more so of an experienced driver than not so much. Uh, and that makes me sad because her parents really seem to have trusted her. Uh, I think if her mom was letting her go out party and then come home about what 12:30, and not I don't think I've ever told this part of my life before, but at 16 I lived on my own. It wasn't a negative situation. My family had purchased a home in a different state, and my parents went to go fix it up. So, they had to finish building it, so they left me and my sister to live in a home that we had in another city. Um, and I lived alone at 16. I had my own car, and I got to do whatever I wanted while my parents were away. It was a super fun experience, but I wouldn't want my own kid to do it. So I kind of understand the wild child thing. Once if your parents give you that kind of independence, you feel older. You feel like you're able to do things. And I think that's Kylie even being a third year senior where she graduated in her third year as opposed to her fourth year makes it even more obvious that she was a very smart girl, very mature. And we've seen the videos with her and Jagger. She already was progressed. She was a little woman. Yes, she was still a teenager, but she was very smart, and you can tell that. And I think that's kind of what gets people too with Kylie. A lot of people want to blame demographics, and I agree. Demographics play a big role in missing people cases. But I think in the case of Gabby and Kylie, not to be biased because I've covered both cases, but there is something about them that you admire. And I've experienced this before as a kid. The first time I ever was involved in a missing person case, I um, I felt like I wanted to be her because she was older than me and she was a very pretty girl, and I really wanted her found. And I can understand why we feel some type of attraction to these cases. She seems so brilliant. I mean, there's something about her that people obviously can't get over. That we're talking about her every day since she's gone missing now. So that's something. Delaney says, "I put my folks through hell, but I turned out okay." And then Maligator says, you don't see everyday kids graduating 2 years early. That's true. You don't. And I had the opportunity to graduate early, I think, because of the same circumstances Kylie was in. A lot of independence, and you're very quick, and you kind of want to finish school. You don't, you're over it. You want to go to college already. And she was definitely on her way. So that's obviously so sad. And then because of what happened, now we are investigating everybody that was there. So of course people want to know why we continue to cover it even after we have all the information that we have, and we're just waiting for the next next ream of information to come out. I personally want to know if it was an accident or not, and I am curious to see what happens when and if it is ruled an accident. There's articles already stating that what AWP feels is correct is incorrect, and I don't know what to think anymore. But I'm curious to find out. Joan Bradley says, "Now I want to go back to school." I don't want to go back to school. I'm actually happy out of school. So I'm going to play my video that I know all of you have seen, but I'm going to play it so then I can go through and tell you guys what I see when I look at the stuff that I pulled up. And you guys can also let me know the stuff that you think you see when you get pulled when I pull it up. I know a lot of you have questions as well as to the comings and goings of these kids, because it is kind of intense what they were doing at their age and recording it. I am thankful that in my partying days, there was MySpace, and now MySpace is gone. So thank you, Tom, for helping me out with that with that part. All right, so let me share the screen and then share the volume with you guys as well, and I'll be in chat.
And bleeded. There has to have been one person. There are people sitting in cars. There are people everywhere around this place.
Yes, I was the last person to contact her after the party.
It was scary.
It was really scary. That something just didn't feel right.
It grew to be way larger than ever expected. We were gonna leave together because later in the party I had asked her if she could give me a ride home, and then I realized that she was too intoxicated to give me a ride home.
I went up to her and I said, "Hey, I got another ride home," because she was meant to be my ride home, but I knew she was too intoxicated to get me home. So I said, "Hey, I found another ride home. Like, I hope you stay safe. Like, I'll see you tomorrow. Like, I love you. Like, have fun and stuff." The last time I saw Kylie was around 12:25 in the morning of the party. I was leaving and I gave her a hug, telling her I loved her and goodbye, and for her to get home safe or be safe.
Let's go!
Real quickly, Laura Truen wants to ask you, what about pictures on social media? There has to be evidence this party went down. I'm sure there's people taking photos or TikToks. I'm sure there's got to be a TikTok video of the fight or something, right? There's got to be something out there.
Yeah, so there's hundreds of videos. We have videos of people taking videos.
Oh, wow.
We have
very good. Very
hundreds
good.
of videos, hundreds of pictures. We've asked everybody to send us any videos and any pictures that we have, even if it's a picture that looks exactly like something else sent us. It could have different angles. We are looking at an app called Be Real, just where a lot of kids waited, because the Be Real, it's an app where you can post a picture and there's 2 minutes at random points in the day. There's only one a day, and a notification will pop up on your phone that says you have 2 minutes left to post your Be Real. Like everybody has, you can post it later in the time, but you're supposed to post it in that time. We're looking at everybody's Be Reals because we know a lot of people waited until they were at that party to post their Be Reals. So we're looking for people to look back in their Snap memories of anybody that we can see in those videos, anybody that we can see in those Be Reals. We are looking at Instagram posts, photos taken on video cameras, photos taken on Snapchat, videos on all of these. And
at a random point throughout the day, you never know when it's coming, but you'll get a notification telling you it's time to Be Real. And then you go to the app. You can't see anyone else's until you post yours. And essentially, you take a picture, and it takes a picture with your back camera, so whatever you're looking at. And then right after it takes that picture, it takes one with your front-facing camera. So it takes a picture of you, so it shows people like what you're doing and what you look like, I guess, at the time. And it's just fun because like you never know when it's gonna go off. You're just gonna see what random people are doing at that given moment in time, what your friends are up to. And sometimes they're really funny, and sometimes you're just laying in bed.
I will frankly admit, people do end up getting in fights over who won, but not this time.
I don't know what happened at this party, and it's really all I can think about. If you go through their TikToks, you'll find proof that these fights were pre planned and that they won money at the fights. Well, whoever won the money at the fight. But if you keep following their TikToks and follow the money, you seem to realize that maybe these pre planned fights weren't all just quote unquote friendly fights. It makes me wonder what they were deleting at the teen to teen meetups. Please believe me when I say you could tell these accounts were all wiped. And unfortunately, this is all that remains to give us some proof of what happened beforehand. Let's make this happen, please. Tickets are $10. I'll pay twice that. Is this beef? Yep. Laugh my ass off. Yeah. So, when's the fight?
So, okay. At the end of the party,
Be quiet, nigga. Hold on. Cause that bitch gon' when I see it's on mute. That bitch.
Do you think she has guilt that she knows she left her friend behind when she knows what really went on at those parties? I really had to sleuth to find some of these pictures and videos. What are they really trying to hide? What do you think? I have questions.
Was it echoing the whole time? Did I not see it? Please tell me it was not echoing the whole time. No? Okay, good. I just came back and it was unmuted. I'm like, okay, I hope it wasn't echoing. That would be so annoying. But I did pull up what I found on a TikTok, and then I also did end up, I don't know who was in Zav's stream last night, but I ended up talking to the guy that that we had found on TikTok who had been at Proster that night. So last night, Zav Girl had pulled up a video, and it's the one video of the guy peeling out that I just showed right here. And we were talking about him that I guess Zav had noticed that his bumper had the license plate on his bumper had moved since the day after the party. And we were kind of like, wait, what's going on here? So, oh my gosh, I can't get it to shut up. Sorry. So we were kind of like, what's going on here? So I messaged him while we were live, and he responded while I was sleeping. So I didn't get to talk to him first, but Tyler Feller was able to verify that, he just thinks this is a big misunderstanding, that he in fact was there at Prosser, but that he has nothing to do with Kylie. And he was explaining away, whatever happened to his bumper. He said he gave his explanation. In fact, Tyler gave me permission to show it, so I will be showing you guys that as well. But I don't know why I couldn't get that TikTok to shut up right now. There it goes again. Oh my gosh, why is this so loud? But yeah, let me turn it down real quick so in case it turns on again. There it is. They just keep popping up. There you go. And we're going to pull up Elsa's TikTok. And in fact, I had never shown, I've never actually done a live where I've gone through and sleuthed or showing you guys what I sleuthed on. So I was never able to show you guys the comment that I had left Elsa on her TikTok where she answered me and said that she was the last, or not, she didn't tell me she was the last person to speak to Kylie, but she said that she spoke to her at 12:30. And according to Sammy, she left at 12:25, or she spoke to her at 12:25. So it would technically make Elsa the last person to have spoken to her. And it was on this comment section where I asked her, she responded, and since then she has removed all of them, but not before somebody asked her, hey, what's up with that? And she said, they just got the time wrong in the article. So she's trying to state that the entire time she was saying that it was 12:30 and they maybe just misquoted her. So I found that interesting. But if you go, let's see. Oh, did she delete it? I think she deleted it. So there was a video of her jumping into the water the day after Kylie disappeared. It was just her on a boat with friends, and it is gone now. That's interesting. But here's this one where I was able to find her. No, oh, there it is. It's this one. I was able to find her friend who said, "You got me in the last one." And when you go to her page and go to her videos, she says something to the effect of, "Hey, girl, I'm convinced I can kill in the ring." And then, of course, somebody asked her, "Let's make this happen." She's like, "Tickets are $10." And so this is the girl that she's convinced she could kill in the ring, and her name is Abby. And Abby actually answers this question right here when they ask, "Is this beef?" And she's like, "Yep." Like, she's answering. So that means she's in the comment section as well, which I think is kind of interesting. Oops. Of course I messed it up. I think it's kind of interesting. Let me make it a little bit bigger. So she's in the comment section and they're like, "Is this beef?" She's like, "Yep." And then somebody named Sam, who is not Sammy, says, "Let my ass off, yes." And they're like, "So when's the fight?" But up here, she's basically saying that tickets are $10, and obviously they're like, "I'll pay twice that." It's kind of crazy, the things that they put on here. I definitely think that they swept their accounts, that they cleaned them out, because there's not too much stuff, but there is some evidence left behind. So Callie Ross had posted this a few days ago, maybe 3 days ago. Okay, no, I don't know which one is her. It's this one. Okay, never mind. I'll find it and then show it to you guys. But yeah, that's the fight video. So let me pull up the fight video again, and then I'll show it to you guys. Do you think they bullied people and fought them there? Okay, so I don't know if they bullied them and fought them there, like, and took them there to fight them without them knowing. I definitely think they pre-planned these fights. I think that, like they said, tickets were being sold. I'm watching TikTok while live. Yes, I do think tickets were being sold. So I'm guessing that they maybe paid some type of entrance fee for the fights, and then they would probably disperse that money amongst the party, like for whatever expenditures were spent, and then whoever won the money. If you remember in that video that I made, Sammy says something to the effect of, sometimes they fight over who won because of the money. That's what she meant. She said something like a trophy or something to that effect, but no, they were fighting for money. So that's why they would fight over who won, because they wanted to make sure they won the money. And that's what Elsa asked that guy also in the video. She says, "Hey, did you ever win that money?" He's like, "Yep." But that was the 4th of July. Also, one thing that we were able to find out, I wonder if Tyler is still alive, because I don't want to show it while he's still alive. But one thing we were able to find out from his name is Single Cab on TikTok. One thing we were able to find out from him is that that Jagger wasn't there. I'm sorry, that he didn't see Jagger there because he doesn't know Jagger. So that we were able to find that out. And then he also told him that that he, his theory is that there was an accident and that she might have driven into the water and stuff like that. I'll take pot and creme brulee. What bag of money, Robert Ryan? I didn't see the bag of money. So I'm going to pull up the Single Cab guys. I hate this. I wish I would have just signed in. So he's right here, and he's a really nice guy. I actually don't think he's involved. I only used his video to prove that they call the parties at Prosser, that they call them functions. So that's kind of why I had used his video. And then also his video is the only one that we have at that night, aside from the small snippet that is what we have from the news that Sammy gave the news. So this is the, let's see, where is it? Of course I can't find it now, but it's in here somewhere. Where did it go? You guys are probably yelling in the comment section, it's right there. Well, luckily I already showed it because I can't find it. But it's okay. One of the things that I wanted to get to his page from is this. So remember the guy in the party fight? The guy in the guy in the video of the fight that we actually have from Sammy, we found out that it's this guy. So he's the party guy.
Yep. Basically, everything down here moved a little bit slower. Unless, of course, your last name is Duke. Just a good old boy.
There you go. This is the guy that's in the video at the party yelling. That's what he said. Allegedly, Scott, I actually went over that at the beginning, that I think it was a article written on an article and it was written incorrectly. I think it was just bad journalism that they had said that, because there's a few inconsistencies in that article. And to be honest with you, aside from saying I don't believe it, I kind of don't want to entertain it, because I think it was something that you were supposed to read and be like, oh, no, that's wrong, and not pay any attention to it. But, of course, people want him to be there. So I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit annoyed by it, because you could just tell it was really, really ill written. So yes, this is the guy. So the single cab driver guy says this is the guy yelling at the party. So I'm going to I haven't told Zav yet, so I want her to go through and figure out if it is him, because I'm sorry. But when the suicide. But this is the guy that I spoke to that was at Prosser, and Tyler Feller also spoke to him, and he actually uploaded his conversation and sent it to me, so I can actually pull it up. And here it is. This is actually the video.
Let's go! Let's go! Yeah, boy! Let's go! Yeah! Yeah! Let's go! Yeah, boys!
As you can see, I'm right here in the comment section. Savagirl wants to know if you want to come on panel. This was last night while we were on panel that I wrote that. And he actually responded back. And he really wanted to talk, but I didn't get to the messages early enough. I was sleeping. You think Sav already went over the video? I know she went over the video. That's not it. We talked to that guy, and we were able to confirm that he's not involved. He's very innocent in that sense. So I will be pulling up next. You only sleep like 30 minutes a night. I sleep in intervals of 2 hours, and I'm pretty happy with that. As long as I get 8 hours every 48 hours, I'm okay. I survive off of coffee. So if you ever want to feel like donating to me, you can donate coffee to me. That's what I appreciate the most. I'm going to pull up my email so I could pull up the conversation that Tyler had with that guy. I don't know if Tyler sent it. I think he has said he had. Let me make sure. Yes, he did. He sent it. I'm going to pull it up real quick. And I think I can share it like this because, all right. So he was trying to get a hold of us, and he was just kind of messaging everybody that was on panel. So Tyler had gotten to spoke to him this morning, and he says, he said that he blurred out his name, or he cut off his name, so that's what's at the top. He says, "I'm the white truck that has been a big center of discussion. Just wanted to reach out to offer my answers to any questions you guys may have that will help in the case. Thank you very much." And he said, "What's up, man? Great. Thanks for reaching out." And he said, "As for my license plate moved, I installed a light bar on my truck, and the license plate covered the light. I zip tied it to my grill, and the plate has always been damaged. That's why it looks crumpled. The scrape on my spray painted the scrape on my spray painted front bumper would be from driving into my mom's black 4Runner. But I am more than happy to answer anything you would like. I can also get you photos and videos if you want evidence and whatnot." And he said, "Thanks for clarifying, dude. That would be awesome. Any photos or videos you have would be helpful." And I'm guessing that you guys are saying in the comments, "I've already went over this, but I want to go over it too." All right. So then he says, yeah, what videos, photos you want of the party or my truck, of me installing the light bar. I can see what photos I have of the scratch on my bumper. And he says, any of the party would be great. A close up of the light bar will be enough there, and one of the scratch on the bumpers. Say, yes, sir, I'll send some your way. For the bumper, I have already spray painted it again. Luckily, I do take a lot of photos of my truck. I'm sure I can find you some more photos of that mark. He said, thanks, man. I like your truck, by the way. And he actually said that last night. He's like, I could tell, he's very proud of his truck. It's a guy thing. I know nothing about cars, except that I should change my oil more often than I do. And then he sends him pictures of his truck, and he says, this is a photo from July 28th, the day after I installed the light bar. You can see that my bumper isn't painted where my plate was originally. You can also see some of the damage on the right side of my bumper, but to be honest, not sure if that's the same as the damage in the video that she pointed out. And this is where he says, for this kid in the hat is named Jet. The kid who's in the fight standing next to him is named Ethan. And he said, just saw that and figured I'd answer it for you. And he said, yeah, that's good. That's good info to know. Did one of them block the road with their truck after the fight? He said, nah, didn't hear of that. Jet doesn't have a vehicle, so it couldn't be him. I personally don't know Ethan. Just know that it was him in the fight. And he said, what do you guys think happened to Kylie? August 17th, there's a photo of my damage, he said. And he said, personally, I think that she was a smaller teen, probably got drunk out of her mind, then decided to go home, took a wrong right instead of a left to leave the party, then drove into the lake, I guess, ? I'm not sure, but the windows being down makes it suspicious to me. It was 1 a.m. Why were her windows down? And he said, yeah, that makes sense, and agree about the windows, kind of weird. And then he zooms in to show us the bumper. He says, that makes sense and agree about the windows, kind of weird about the tow truck driver's story. And he said, August 5th, damage is already there. And August 5th would be the day of the party, right? And he says, damage is already there. He said, great, man. Thanks for sharing. Yep, I wanted to clear things up. I appreciate all you guys do trying to find something that helps solve a case, but I don't need conspiracy theories on my TikTok page. Haha, not the type of person I am. Thank you, and let me know if there's anything else I can do. Like we said, he's a very sweet guy. So I'm not surprised at this at all. And he said, haha, yeah, I didn't think you had anything to do with it either. Thanks for sharing. I may have a couple more questions and I will reach out. And he said, feel free to continue using my TikToks if you think they will help. Just was a bit weirded out when I first heard people were talking about my TikToks or were taking my TikToks to YouTube. And I completely understand that. Is it bad that these some kids get drugs? Kids get drug in all this. It is bad. It is bad that they get drug into all of this, but it happens in every case. And I think I've just become desensitized, but I do feel bad when certain ones are drug in. So I don't know. I feel like I should feel bad for all of them, but at the same time, I only feel bad for some. I don't know. I'm only human. I'm not a professional. And then this guy says, I wonder if she was trying to unlock her doors from the inside. She would have unrolled her window by accident. maybe you had a CRV. Do you think that would be possible? A life was lost. Absolutely. And then Delaney says, Sandy, was so sad to see law enforcement left Kylie's belongings in the water like that. Oh man, that made me so mad. Like pissed. It made me so angry. I was making dinner that night when Checka TV put the video out, and Kimmy sent it to me. Within 10 minutes, I was on it, and it was ridiculous. And I was the first person to make a video on his video, like saying this needs attention, and of course it did. They didn't want to go out there. I know there's a lot of stories, but I'm just going to go with the first one. That's the one that works for me, because whether or not they went for the laptop or not doesn't matter, because the next day they didn't go for the other stuff. So it lets me know that they're not taking it too seriously, or they're willing to let evidence go. It makes me wonder what they know, if they're not taking evidence in anymore, if they're thinking it's an accident, because that's the only reason I would assume that they would not go and pick up something that they found from the crash site, or go back in and clear it out once they figured out that there was still stuff left there. That's absolutely ridiculous. Makes me so mad. And actually, Check It TV posted the video of when he found the laptop. I think it was 2 days ago, and it didn't really. I knew he was going to post it, so I went to go look for it because it never popped up in my stream. So I'm going to play it, and then I'll just link him. Oh, and I forgot to actually. Delana, will you help me out? Can you link Tyler Feller? I completely forgot. Bad. This is bad. All right, let's see. Go to his video real quick so I can find his page. But yeah, the video actually never came up on my feed. I had to go look for it myself. So I'll just play it side by side while we talk in silence. Or I'll put it silent. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll move it. There is footage of Prosper Lake on YouTube Shorts somewhere of what looks like tracks into the water. Oh, I've seen them. Robert Ryan says, it makes me mad as a retired law enforcement. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can imagine, because you know what they're supposed to do. Thank you, Delana. I appreciate that. Delaney, Chucky, home appraiser last night on Nerd Addict said 78% of the community believe crime but scared to go to law enforcement. Jessica found bodysuit on road from Boca Prosser. So I think it was Crazy Mama that I spoke to about this, that her mom has to live in that. She has to live in that town. She's not moving from there. So far, her lodge is still for sale. So she has every right to protect herself. If she has to live there and be amongst the community, especially her business, I could understand why she would want to not throw everybody under the bus for something that was a potential accident. And I think that's where she's coming from, where she wants to protect everybody's children, because these are her friends and these are her friends' kids, and she doesn't want them to be hurt in the process in case it was an accident. And I'm getting the vibe that they do think it was an accident. And I mean, for all we know, it was. I know there are weird things, but weird things happen. And she was a kid, and she was a new driver. She was intoxicated. I know that the road down there was really bad, and that there's, like I said, there's sus things, but I don't know. I have a feeling that she's reasonable in saying what she said, that she wants to leave the community, the children in the community alone so they continue to be themselves. She doesn't want them to clam up, maybe because she still hopes they'll talk, or maybe because she wants them to be free birds as they continue to be. But I did feel for her in that moment, because this can be a lot. All of this YouTube stuff can be a lot, and it's her child, and she's mourning, and there's many stages of grief, and then there's no rule book to grief, and there's no rule book on how you mourn somebody. Also, like posting videos of, or Sammy posted a TikTok of her in the water, and she was with her friend, and she put, in the caption that her friend was going off to college and that she was sad about it. And then at the bottom she put like, Kylie, I love you, or something like that. And people were really upset about it. They're like, and she's in the water and all that. And I'm like, if this was an accident, then that's just her being a kid and not even realizing what a gesture that would be to somebody following true crime. There are some coincidences in life, and I think from being a kid that was in an accident and doing dumb things afterwards, I say yes, it can happen. And that's just from my perspective. I did things that people would probably think was questionable after my car accident. Like, why would she do that? But just being a dumb teenager. And I think that Sammy is just a dumb teenager. Do I think that what she was doing is weird? Yeah, I really think what Sammy does is weird. All of the control that she has over the teen to teen meets, I truly think that she went in there to tell them, hey, whatever you guys have, you got to delete it. You got to take that out of here, and make sure that you have nothing that's going to incriminate us from what we do at these parties, because they are 18. Kylie is 16. They can get in trouble for it. They're about to go to college. They want to, obviously nobody wants to get in trouble. So I really do find what she was doing suspicious, but not in a way where I think that she did something to Kylie. I think that she's just trying to cover all of their tracks. And, knowing that they supplied, they would have supplied her alcohol, all that stuff, and then she left and got into an accident. It was definitely bad that law enforcement was so careless in this matter, not being careful to pull the CRV from the reservoir and properly collecting evidence. So infuriating. Absolutely. And I was live with Doug on Zavgirl's channel, and he said, that's not what they would have done. Definitely not how they would have handled that situation. And I'm sure they wish that law enforcement would have let them do it. So I'm going to share my screen real quick so we can walk and talk. Watch and talk. I'm just going to have it silenced. I don't think you do full screen. It's weird. All right. So this is him finding the laptop and pulling it out of the lake. The Wandering Sub says, I don't think they'll call anything until they can back it up. Yeah. They're not going to call anything until they back it up. And then I still think that we're not going to get everything. I really think that they're going to keep it close to their chest, the family, especially with what's going on. They're not going to want her autopsy released. They're going to keep it under wraps. And because she's a minor, that's definitely an option that they have. Allison Faye says, I went to jail at 17 for a joint. If these young adults are guilty, they need to suffer consequences. Absolutely, Allison Faye. And as somebody who caused an indiscretion in her youth and had to deal with the consequences in my youth because of the indiscretion, I still say that yes, even if something is an accident, you still may have to suffer consequences. Even if you are young, if you are guilty, you still have to suffer consequences. And that's why there's people that can be charged an adult before they're an adult, because under circumstances, you're fully formed. Kylie was, you could tell she was vivacious and intelligent at 16. She was a full-grown person. She was just under 18. If she would have been 18, it would have been a little bit different, but she was under 18. So, yeah. Let's see. I wanted grandkids. Oh, don't say that. It's so sad. We could be your grandkids. Valerie Knox says, someone still supplied it to Sammy. She isn't 21. A parent, maybe a brother, a sister. I don't know. I was able to buy alcohol before I was 21, but I know it's gotten a lot stricter since then. So I wonder how they did get it. And a lot of people are, asking, why aren't the parents being arrested? And it's just because they weren't there. And there's so far no proof that they provided alcohol. Also, we know that everything has been hush-hush, like super secretive. We really don't know anything. Sammy made sure of that. And I would love to go through all of her interviews, but I know they're just so oversaturated right now. And I know my live is probably a live that doesn't need to happen because this case is being covered by so many people, but I also didn't want that to take away from the fact that I have gone into my own investigation. I just kind of wanted to show a little bit of what I found and then talk about it and all that stuff. And then say hi to you guys and get back into the swing of things. I also want to do a interview tomorrow with Jolis's mom. I haven't asked her yet, and I know Sunday's church day, but I want to do a stream solely on Jolissa and then have her mom speak to us a little bit about her because she's still missing and there's really no updates, but keeping her relevant and in the public eye is what needs to happen so people can keep an eye out for her. Hey, Mel Mac, how are you? So Crazy Mama says law enforcement has to cross those T's and dot those I's now for sure. And also, this isn't the only flub that they have. They also did the AWP thing. AWP found her where they had looked, and you could hear in the video where the dad's like, right there? How did they miss that? That's everybody's sentiment, and they have to be embarrassed. And that's not just a knock on law enforcement. It's just they have to be embarrassed that they looked for this girl and didn't find her, and she was right there. And I don't like when they say it, but like an amateur dive team came through and was able to recover her in the same area they weren't able to find her. So Wicked West Paranormal says, you're an amazing sleuth, and I'm happy you're covering this. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just wish I could cover it better. I don't feel like I'm good at this StreamYard stuff, so I can understand why people aren't rushing to watch me. A little choppy. So only 55 yards from the last ping. And right now that's one thing that's going on in Jolissa's case is the ping is so far from where she was last seen. There's so much area to cover. In Kylie's case, there was so much area to cover, but they were able to cover it quickly. And even Sammy said they've searched waters, they've searched the mountains, they've done an extensive amount of searching, and there were search crews and everything. She was right there, so close to her last ping. That is, the fact that they missed her is absolutely a travesty. And thank God for AWP for coming through and finding her. Whatever, you guys, you just like me. So the Wandering Sub says again, yes, and then messed up getting the car out of the way. Yes, and didn't take whatever. Yes. And you know what? I'm going to also pull that up right now. Let's just go ahead and pull up what they left or what we saw in the water and then what they didn't go look for. That was just wrong. So I guess according to AWP, they should have netted the windows and not flipped it, taken it out as it was. And that makes so much sense because they don't really need it to roll if they're going to put it, on that. Yeah, I think they should have let AWP handle it, and them saying it like that let me know that they really did a chop up job. That's not even cool. They should have let the professionals handle it. Somebody that does these recoveries all the time. But as they said, there was just so many different entities there. There was the police department, there was the FBI, and they were just somebody that isn't labeled as a law enforcement, so they were kind of put to the side. I'm going to pull myself up, pull up my own channel, and we're going to share audio. Yeah. We're going to share audio. And hi, Ara. I saw that you were in here. All right, we'll watch this one first.
I've been waiting here for over an hour. I'll be honest, I'm pissed off that all the stuff is... I'm going to put it in the water again. Here we go. I don't know if you guys saw that. I hope you did. So, there's still a bunch of stuff in there. I would not be surprised if Kylie's cell phone's down there. I said I was going to dive and get this stuff. I'm wondering if anyone cares.
What do you guys think? Incompetent or negligent?
Cares to come get this stuff. Go back to the car. But you guys can. It's not a hoax. I'm not lying to you. Maybe the more of us that call, contact someone to come get this stuff. I mean, the better we're all. I found this stuff within about 5 minutes.
Jesus, it still makes me upset. I was so upset that night. I literally stopped making dinner just to get it out because I was like, they're not going to pay. They're not listening. All right, we're actually going to not listen to my creepy music. Maybe just a little bit. Right here. We'll just put it right here. Was there an echo, Sky? Still right now? All right, Audrey, I'll read your comment above. Something is definitely not right, allegedly. Sammy would have at least gotten in trouble for contributing to a delinquency of a minor. She admitted to drinking with Kylie. She did. She did admit. So there's the laptop right here. We actually just passed the cigarrillo right here, or not the raw cone. Let's see. There it is. There's the raw cone. And I'm sure they didn't recover this. I'm sure that's still at the bottom of the lake. And then somewhere back here, I see a tote bag. And then this is where the bralette is. And then, of course, her laptop that we just saw Check It TV pull up out of the water. And I will be linking him in the description because I forgot to. Because I haven't done this in a long time. I hope he forgives me. A lot of people were saying that they couldn't see any of this stuff. And I'm like, I saw it right away. I watched Titanic so much as a kid. I was prepared for this all of my life to go ahead and be able to call out all of the stuff. And I made sure to not change the resolution, change the filter or anything because I didn't want to, mess with their video. I think they did a great job. And I wanted to show everything as it was. I didn't want to obscure anything or, yeah. I felt like you could see it clear enough anyway. Let me get Check TV's link. And I know I've contributed nothing to this case. Everything I've said, I've already said before, but, I still felt like I am allowed to come on and share my end. So that hoodie, a lot of people were thinking they couldn't see it. I definitely saw it right away. There was no doubt about it to me that was that hoodie. Then, of course, like the brush and her charger, and which were all found. Not the charger. They found a phone cord. And I say they because they are an independent search team. Cinnamon hot. Titanic totally prepared me, crazy mama. Absolutely. I've been waiting for this day. And then I asked Doug from AWP if this was a airbag, and he said that he doesn't think the airbags were deployed. So I don't know what that is. That's what I thought it was. Yes, I did, Scott. Thanks, Delaney. I missed you too. I really did. And I know once I'm done being nervous, I'm going to be able to do this normally again. Like, go outside and be able to chill. I just feel really uptight so far still, like just really worried about doing good. The airbags weren't, I can explain. You can? Explain. Sorry about that. What if the vehicle wasn't there when law enforcement searched and it was planted after thinking it would be searched again? It's a very good question. And to be completely honest with you, I think that's what a lot of people are alluding to when they ask that question, like, how long do you think it was down there? And I'm guessing that with the silt and the plantage and, the fish and everything, I feel like it was in there for a while, but I can't say what date. And of course, now they're pulling up that on her flyer for her celebration of life, there was no DOD, date of death. So people are questioning that. Thanks, Joan. Prosser County, no way. Watch documentary. Everyone matters. What is it about? Nick asked that on duty, Ron. Thanks, Delana. I appreciate you guys being here. I know it's late. I was supposed to start earlier, but I wanted to see what the truck I had shared with Tyler. Melmac, that's a good question. And I also there was another question that somebody brought up in chat earlier. In a chat earlier, they said if Kylie's parents aren't on the same page and her dad wants to share her autopsy and the mom doesn't, how does that work out? I thought that was a very good question because we don't know. So allegedly is giving me information. The instant a crash begins, sensors start to measure impact severity. If the crash is severe enough, the sensors signal inflators to fill the bags with gas in a fraction of a second. The sensor signal inflators to fill the bags with gas in a fraction of a second. I don't know why that was so hard for me to read. They're gonna go to civil court, you think? Would that be considered like probate court, or is that only for assets? Thank you. It's according to what custody. Crazy mama coming in with facts. Okay, let me pause this right here because this is one thing that I wanted to show. Right here, you can actually see the raw cone actually pretty clearly. A lot of people were saying that's not a raw cone. I'm like, of course it is. You can actually even see the writing. It is literally a raw cone. So people have been mentioning that this could be the shoe, and I'm not going to argue that. This could be the shoe. So if you look right here, this looks like it could very well be like a ballerina shoe, this the heel, and then the strappy part right here. I thought it looked like a structured bralette or like a bralette with the inserted cup. Can't relate, don't need those, but young girls may. But they were thinking that this may actually look like a shoe. And then I thought this looked like a bag. They did find a bag, so I wonder if that was the one I saw. Let's see. It's going to slow down one more time, or go through it one more time. I don't know why my title is right there. I can't get it off. Let me go back a little bit. Do it one more time. Here you go. Ugh. Of course. I really watched this like over and over again to see what to find what I was seeing, but I just found it so interesting. People were like, "How could you find this stuff interesting?" Watching this video where they found this girl, and I don't know, but I did. I found it very interesting. And this is when obviously he goes to the back window. I kind of chopped it up and moved it around when I made it, but still. So if Kylie was driving at somewhat high speed, airbags would deploy. Since they didn't deploy, she may not have been moving fast enough to trigger the sensor. And then could they also have been off? I was wearing one when I saw it. And I have looked over this and I don't see anything. And then after I heard like what the guys from AWP said, I really didn't see anything. So I personally couldn't have made a photo to make anybody upset if I wanted to, because truly I couldn't make anything out in that photo. Let me remove this. So Robert is saying you have to remove the sensor for the AB or for the airbags. Oh, in order for it not to go off, you can't just turn it off. It is creepy when it's slowed down, but it is easier to see. They do have really good camera and really good footage, like so good. There are no coincidences. Yeah, I hear that a lot, but sometimes there is. Sometimes there just coincidentally there is. Girl, don't laugh at me. I'm trying. Delana says, as a parent, if someone left my daughter alone at a party and just rolled on her head, just roll on her, heads would be rolling, just saying. I almost want to say my daughter wouldn't be at a party. And that's absolutely what you're not supposed to say, because your kids are going to grow up and you need them to go out. But were her parents giving her too much freedom? I think so. And coming from somebody who had too much freedom, I say that she had a lot of freedom and that she was treated as an adult. And even though she acted like one, she still should have been treated like a 16-year-old, even though she was in the circumstances that she was in. And I get it that she was going to go off to college anyway. She was going to be living without her parents, but still in the same sentence, you have to instill safety in them. So when they go out to college, they're going to continue that, that safety route. You can't be okay with them drinking and driving and then, or, partying and then driving, whatever, especially with Uber around these days. And Delana says, my daughter's 27. But you have a son in college, and I'm sure you instill in him how to act accordingly before, after, during a party. And he takes that to college with him. And I know because I see your son, and he looks like a guy that, his parents put him on the right path. If it was in a previous front end accident, old Honda airbags sometimes don't go off. Oh, it seems that I had heard that before, that there could have been a defect in the airbags as well, because I really thought that the curtain at the bottom was in fact an airbag, but I guess it wasn't, according to Doug from AWP. He doesn't think so. And C-Dub was in here earlier, and she loves Doug from AWP. So if he ever sees this, she appreciates your beard. You're an old head, Delana. I mean, I am now. My sensors never worked for anything on any of my old Hondas. It's good to know. What did Melmac say? Well, we try, but kids are going to do stupid things. Yes, and I did things. I did stupid things, and my parents tried a little bit. No underwater vacuum, policing 101. What does that mean? I would have been hanging them upside down. That's if I could talk, probably wouldn't be any good. The thoughts give me anxiety. Absolutely. Absolutely. Turquoise says, I listen to the police scanner 24/7. My girls hate it, and I live a block from one child, and she hates me checking up on her, but I do anyways. You wouldn't be a mom if you didn't. You don't think so? I think that they did want her found. That's just not what they wanted. I don't think, they wanted to find a live Kylie, and I can understand that. That's heartbreaking, man. You want to find your kid, and you want to find them alive. You don't hope there's no guidebook for when this happens, and they didn't expect it to happen. And let's see. Zav is. I'm going to go to Zav's channel real quick and pull up when we did the interview with Doug from AWP, because she did a clip edit of just the interview. Let's see. And I just wanted to go.
It seemed to me too.
I want to go over it because I have been watching it. Her mom noticed when she woke up that she didn't come home. That's another thing, people want to blame the mom, and I don't think the mom or anybody was to blame. Whether she would have woken up earlier and noticed or not gone to sleep, she would, she would have already been gone, I think. So, not to be selfish, but I want to go to the question that I asked him. Let's see. When my bobblehead talks. Okay, I think it's going to be right here.
Necessarily, but to also bring our viewers into the integrity of why we did what we did coming into this case.
Yeah. You're right. And that's the thing I was saying. Like, I grew up in Missouri. I'm like, everybody had a St. Louis Cardinals hat where I grew up. Like, literally everybody I can think of had a St. Louis Cardinal hat. Same thing there. Everybody has the San Francisco Giant hat that they're wearing. So I definitely understood that. So I was trying to make that point too. But so I appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing that. Was that date confirmed that it was on the Saturday morning or Sunday?
Yep.
And it was confirmed to be her car.
As far as I know, yes. The authorities have all of that information, and they're dealing with it. Like I stated earlier, we just have to unfortunately be patient for them to finish their investigation. At the end of the day, they could come out and say that, hey, everything is just an accident and move on. Unfortunately, we are not going to move on as a public. I think that in this case, it's just too much suspicion involved to accept that. But they'll come out with those answers and either corroborate or refute things or announce arrests and suspects and so forth.
Oh, it's definitely heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. It's tragic.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm going to interrupt you. So it says, why does Doug say left turn when we see right turn?
You said because if you're looking at the map and you're thinking about coming in to the park, it would be a right. But leaving the park, it's a left. Get it? Yeah. So leaving the park, it's a left.
Okay.
Coming into the park, it's a right.
Like the last turn, you mean? That she would have made? Is that what you're talking about?
Just the turn to get onto that particular road.
Oh, the main. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. And Nova asked, did the car look like it was underwater for weeks or days? Can you tell?
There's no really, we didn't, I can say we didn't find anything suspicious about, and we didn't think the car was just put there or anything like that. You know,
Okay. Okay.
the rumors that are out there that, you know, that are far fetched, they're absolutely just far fetched. The car was there. We have no reason to believe that the car wasn't there the entire time.
So
Well,
basically,
it had to be
after
a
that
day
tow truck
after,
video.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would have to be
Yeah,
after.
yeah. So another thing, you know, we're also looking at this massive outside of Gabby Petito. This is the biggest search in years.
Yeah.
So, but this didn't start like that. You know, there was a 24-hour, you know, 30-hour time frame before things really got
Really heated up. Yeah.
heavy. So there's a lot of window for opportunity, especially when the possible sighting the next day happened just, you know, 9 hours later, you know what I mean? 10 hours later, whatever it was. So that's not suspicious at all. It's possible.
What is something that hasn't been asked or a talking point that maybe you guys are having behind the scenes about this, but you wish would be addressed on a YouTube channel like this?
Great question, man. Great question. Really, I can't think of one. You know, everybody has been doing such a great job. Like, you guys have been knocking it out of the park collectively when it comes to the little bit of information you have and what you've been able to put together. Like, I've seen you guys put together stuff that I wasn't even aware about, you know, because you got to think I go out of my way not to get involved in anything else extra. We're mainly focused on finding the where. Unfortunately, this case just comes with a lot more extra on the back end, and I try not to get into any of that stuff. So the rabbit holes that are in my mind with this case are kind of confined and in a tunnel with blinders on, and the little bit that I pick up, I'm like, holy moly, like that makes sense. Like, that person did some homework, and I wasn't even thinking that, but it's possible. So, I mean, answer your question, no, man, I can't think of anything really good that's hasn't been asked or hasn't been put out there. We are and the importance of it, and there's been mistakes in the past when we weren't allowed to command these operations, and this is
Okay, sorry. I was looking for a question that I had asked him, and of course I couldn't find it, but I found it.
unfortunately another one. So it's a learning experience for everybody involved, and it's tragic.
I actually have one more question, and a lot of people have been asking, but it's something that I saw myself. So I'm unsure how well you've gone over the footage. I'm sure you have looked over it, but if you look at it from the driver window to the passenger, it almost appears as if there's somewhat of a curtain down on the floor of the passenger window, and it resembles a deflated airbag. Any idea if that's what it is?
I don't think so.
So you know, do you know for a fact if there were airbags deployed or not?
I can't answer that other than I don't think the airbags were deployed.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
See, ta-da! I had a question and he answered that. That one was one that I had in my mind before I ever talked to AWP, and then I'd forgotten it until the end. So I'm really thankful I had the opportunity to do that. So I'm really thankful for Zab for asking me to come up, because to me that was everything. I had really, really wanted to ask that question, and not just that, but get to talk to them, especially thank them for looking for Jolissa as well as Kylie. But yeah, I was really happy to be able to ask that one myself and to get such a concise answer, as opposed to the stuff that we're kind of getting that they can't answer because of this and they can't answer because of that and all the red tape. I was really happy that we were able to pull that out. So I actually had the other day when I was going through the Lost Trail Lodge Facebook, I had found the first or second day post about Kylie being missing, and I kind of wanted to share that just to read it because I didn't follow the case the first few days, so I didn't really see it. So this is from the Lost Trail Lodge. They say, update. Thank you to everyone that came out tonight to give any information to us about Kylie. Unfortunately, no leads were found that were significant to the case, but we can still do more. Please, if you haven't yet reached out, or if you know anything, or you were at the party, please come tomorrow to the meetup or contact us in any way with any information. We understand that everyone is concerned and worried, and I will make sure to keep everyone updated as much as possible while also continuing to work at this. Thank you for everything, and please keep helping us find Kylie. And then it says, at find Kylie Rodney. I think that this was written by Sammy. And the reason I think that is because she was running the Find Kylie Rodney page, and she was kind of pushing it really hard. And I was like, I wonder if she just sent this to the mom and had her write it out. It looks to be written in like a notepad on an iPhone, which I think that, only younger people do. I don't know. That's what I'm not calling myself younger, but I tend to do that, and it's not very responsible to, write them and then just crop them in your notepad. There are apps for that, for writing something out nicely. But I seem to feel like this was Sammy, and if it was, I was like, please, if you haven't reached out, or if you know anything, or you're at the party, please come tomorrow to the meetup or contact us in any way with any information. Why would you why wouldn't you call law enforcement right away? Or why wouldn't you tell them to call law enforcement right away? Why would you tell them, hey, if you have any information, come to the meetup tomorrow or contact us in any way with any information? And us. Wait, what? Yeah. So when I read that, I was like, I wonder if that was Sammy that wrote that. Really, truly, honestly. This girl. And then, of course, people keeping you in my prayers for a safe return, praying for her safe return. And then my prayers are with you and your family. And when I pulled that up, I was like, I wonder. It makes me really think that was her doing that, little girl. She's an interesting one. So let's see what you guys are saying in here. What are you guys discussing in here? I want to see. C-Dub says C-Dub says if he wasn't already married to Lana, Delaney would go for it. It has 100% to do with his personality, though. Oh, she's not in it for the beard. Oh, I see. You guys are having a healthy discussion about the divers. It's so important to me as far as questions that they don't answer. Yes, I know that you focus a lot on the things that they don't say because you just you do a process of elimination from that. Like, why aren't they able to say it? I'm so impressed with how much you've grown. I love watching you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know. I don't know if I've grown as much as I feel like I should have. Like, I should have this part down. And honestly, it embarrasses me that I'm still so bad at live streaming. But I feel like editing and making videos was kind of my comfort in not being very good at live streaming. And I'm still going to continue to do that. But I do want to brush up and grow a little bit more on that. I want to say that I'm impressed by setups that other people have, and I'm like, how do you do that? How do you guys even do that? Like, I want it to be smooth and effortless, but so far I am struggling with it. Well, hello there. Hey, everybody. I don't know if you follow Crime Curious. She was a Watts Islander with us. She was lost on the island, and she has now. I saw that you you're starting to do Kylie content, which makes me really happy because you make amazing videos. And wait, maybe you're not the same Crime Curious. You may not be the same. You're still a creator, though. I know you still have videos. Let's see. Yeah, she still has videos. Okay, let me. Okay, no, I'm not wrong. Yeah, I'm not wrong. Oh, I got scared for a second there. So I'm going to go ahead and put her in chat. Follow Crime Curious. She is. I didn't know that. She's from Colorado. Thanks, Esther G. I appreciate that. Thank you, Delana. Just real quick, I'm super glad I met you, and I'm glad we're virtual friends. Same, same. I say this often, but I'd like to thank Chris Watts for all my friends, at least on YouTube, and then all of the new people that are going to be following me, the ones that like me. Thank you so much, Mar R, and I appreciate everybody for watching this. Of course, I'm always all over the place and a little bit of a mess. I do say Colorado, and I will be setting up more live streams, and I will be more organized so I can pull things up better. Every time I want to live stream, I promise myself I'm going to go through and pull everything up, and then I actually did it for this live stream. I pulled everything, all my tabs up, and as I was getting ready, I got nervous and I started closing my tabs, and then I realized I had them up for a reason. So that was my bad. And then also, I had pulled up a file on my phone to show people, and for some reason, I can't get it to pull up. So there's that as well. When you want things to go your way, they never do. So I'm just gonna wing it and get used to going live. Crime Curious says, I was in the courtroom Thursday for Letitia Staunch's hearing, working on that video tonight. I didn't follow Gannon's case, but since I have started YouTube, I have become friends with Crazy Crime Chick, and she's very passionate about Gannon Staunch getting justice. So it made me read a little bit into it. So I do know some, and in fact, I've even gone as far to message her daughter and tell her off because I felt that whatever she was posting on that particular day was very insensitive. And I'm upset that I think she was involved and that she's has immunity. But that's just me. That's just me being Amanda and inserting myself in ways that I shouldn't, but I cannot help myself. I don't like the vibe of Letitia and her daughter. I don't like, yeah, I hope that she gets punished to the full extent for what she did to that poor baby. Delaney says she's been waiting for it too. The Crime Curious case. Oh, you know what? I'm going to also link her. Leticia needs to get the chair. She's crazy AF. Absolutely. Selfish, crazy woman. Somebody who you can say without a doubt is guilty. She's like Casey Anthony in my eyes. That woman. I do not like her. If she could even be called a mom or a woman. What happened? You're going to take off, Robert, after I get done? You agree about Harley? Yeah. I think she was involved. Good night. Oh, I see. Never mind. I see what you're saying. They're vile. They are vile. Absolutely vile. Ugh, I don't like them. What's going on? I'll read it later. Crazy Mama, can you tell me later? Yeah, I think she was involved, and it's kind of like a circumstantial thing, like how I think it's wrong for people to go after Jagger because I personally think he was out of town, but I'm okay with people speculating on Sammy because she was there. That's circumstantial to me. She was there. She had the opportunity. And same with Letitia Staunch's daughter. She was there. She had the opportunity. She knew all that stuff. They're aware, and that's enough for me. C-Dub says there's a hard to find interview with Gavin's alleged BFF's mom that blows my mind if any part is true. Interesting. I want to watch that. It's cool. Yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Valerie, thank you for being here. Valerie's one of my ride or dies and love her. But I think I am going to end this just because I feel like I got out everything that I felt I needed to get out on a live and just kind of explain away. It definitely could have been more in depth, but I'm still getting the hang of coming back. I really appreciate all of you guys being here. I love my OGs and my monkeys and everyone that's returning. And if I wasn't your cup of tea, I'm so sorry, but I know sometimes you just absolutely follow somebody and they're not exactly what you wanted. I'm not. My views are similar to the people's because there's only so many combinations you can get out of this case, but they're still not what everybody wants. Everybody wants certain people to be there. They want certain things to be happening. But I think that this is going to be a very clear outcome. You know, obviously it was going to be an accident or there's going to be foul play. And if there's foul play, obviously it's going to be a party goer of some sort and somebody that knows her. And if it's an accident, then, you know, we know the circumstances. Kylie was intoxicated. It was very dark. And obviously that she was young. So, you know, she wasn't that great of a driver, even though her mom shows that she had experience driving when you're under the influence, young, late night in the rough area, you know. Yeah. Because Verna did a video where they're going down to where Kylie's car went in, and you're almost taking out your entire bottom of your car going down. She could only be driving so fast. So if it was an accident, Kylie was inebriated enough to not notice that that was not the way you go home. Yeah, I think we're all going to need glasses. I struggle to read my screen because I try to sit a little bit far so I'm not too loud. So sometimes when I'm reading things, I'm squinting to read them. I think we're all getting to that age where if we're not super young, we're going to be needing glasses. Nice live chat this evening. Thank you, Amanda S. Have a nice evening, everyone. And I'm sorry if this is super anticlimactic. I only showed what people have already showed tonight, and that's kind of what I do anyway. Just giving you my take on it. Thank you all for being here. I love you guys. If you need to message me, Amanda Esvida, and have a good night. Oh, amandasvida@gmail.com. Sorry. And have a good night.